Systemic, anything like that?
Systemic, perhaps. Whether or not you identify it as systemic while you're in the classroom is a totally different thing. I think definitely for me, and if I refer back to that specific example, you started to see equity or inequity sort of rear its head in terms of trying to get the support that he needed and that his mother needed in order to be able to sort of maneuver through this. This is my son, and this is my son in the education system, and what do I need to do so that he's actually successful? It was very difficult to provide the supports he needed, and I should add that, and again, this is for me, I think there were many other sort of isms playing a role here. So you had mental health, which was rearing its head, not diagnosed. He's only 6 years old. And not diagnosed at a time where our board really wasn't on board with it fully just yet out in the open. So you feel like something's going on. You also have the race issue that was going to play a role because that was definitely a factor with this little boy's family. And then there were questions of poverty. And so we noticed, and again, myself and my colleague, we noticed that in trying to get supports for him, we were having to wade through a lot of other factors that created judgment on this family and mom. And so, we would request for certain things, we would suggest certain things, and without what we thought was giving it, full justice in terms of really evaluating what we can do, we would get blocked. There were comments that were often made regarding, again, and these were comments that were made simply out of personal judgment, comments made about mom and dad or mom and how choices that it's perceived that they've made. And I really believe that in any other situation, if we didn't have so many isms playing a role, those judgments, those comments wouldn't have been made. Perhaps services would have come a lot more easily for this little boy. And so I think the thing with equity and mental health is it's just one more thing. It's one more thing that our students and teachers have to meander through. Whereas, you can have mental health layered on top of spec ed, you can have mental health layered on top of faith and culture and race and gender issues. And so when you've got all of those things and then you put mental health on top, it makes it that much more difficult to just get to the mental health part and deal with that, because you're dealing with all of the other sort of baggage that not that person has, not the actual person with the mental health, but the baggage that everyone around them who needs to be supporting them is carrying in regards to their own biases. So that we found very frustrating. And I've got to say that I had perhaps some not very nice conversations in trying to advocate for this little boy. And it wasn't only because of mental health, but it was because of the underlying equity issues and biases that played a role in trying to get him support.